So as you can see, we have news today, pretty big news. CPI, initial jobless claims, and then tomorrow we also have PPI. I thought, nah, I'm not going to wait till Friday. Even last night, I was contemplating. I'm going to do one now, even though it's sort of minutes before the news, because we cannot ignore the fact that this is such a beautiful resumption here of the move up. News can change everything, and if we close below 23.49, it'd be pretty annoying. We may have to go lower before going back up. I don't think the long-term trend is in any way intact, even the medium-term trend. But who knows? If we have a nice mini explosive move to the upside with gold following this news, I think even regardless of Friday, a close above 2400, because news is secondary to technical activity. In my opinion, the technicals always end up sort of matching or coinciding or uh, just being in line with news, pre or post. So the point is, if we close above 2400 today in gold, that is going to be monumental stuff. And next up is obviously all-time highs, 2400, 2450. We need to close above really the last high over here, so 2390. But let's not look into it too much. What we've had a nice pop, this surprising drop, but there you go, straight back up, wall of worry style. Gold looks amazing. Let's see what happens. Let's leave it there because the candle that will form by the close today can negate or exacerbate the good news that we have here. So let's look at silver because silver is starting to look very beautiful too. It's also, I'm not going to say trailing gold. It's not outperforming yet. The time will come. It's kind of matching gold, but if we can close above this 3150, boom, tomorrow. Again, we got news tomorrow, but we've got news every day, to be honest. It looks good, right? We had this big, not a big drop, but a nice consolidation. The one like, when you're going to break out the descending, that's happened. And so far, so good. We just need to take out this horizontal. It's always the horizontal after the descending breakout. So for me, 3150, that's still line to break. Let's go straight to the miners because the miners absolutely outperforming. It's beautiful. And the silver miners are outperforming even more. It's absolutely amazing. Look at this. All the way back up, cup and handle. This is a tiny handle. You can't even put your fingers inside. Straight up, new high, totally outperforming. You can tell. Next stop, well, probably going to get there today. The news, I wish there was no news because if there was no news, this is going to new highs. But who knows? Maybe it'll be a little catalyst or an extra fire under the candles that can just elevate it even faster. Next up, 47 bucks on GDXJ. Let's close above it. Again, the news can ruin that, but that's your next stop. I'm not looking at support. I don't care about support. For me, if we go down, fine, well, the support will be easy to identify, but it's just sort of stalling what is inevitable. SILJ, amazing. Okay, pre-market apparently we're all the way up here. Maybe it could be fake. It could end up going a bit red. I don't mind that. I actually don't mind at the open it goes red and then by the close, it's already come all the way back up and it's green, or even starting red and then going red to green. That red to green move early intraday is just explosive. But here we are. I mean, look at that close at high of day. Yes, just amazing. And here we're gapping up, apparently already higher than the next resistance, which to me is 1280. Next stop, 13 bucks. We close above 13 bucks on SILJ. It's over. I mean, we've got a massive move coming. It's we haven't got 2011 on SILJ. Otherwise, it'd be, the number should go all the way up to 30, 40 or something. This is going to be explosive stuff. Let's look at individual miners. At least there we have more history. Very quick run through. Look at Newmont. You can't recognize the gold chart or even the silver chart here. It's completely outperformed. It's been outperforming for a while. You know, I don't know, like one, two, actually since the news here, since its earnings. And I knew that. And I was happy to buy and this held very well, etc. etc. Here we are. 46 is resistance. This is like the 2450 in gold. We're gonna probably cross that line, close above it today. Again, the news can ruin it. It's a shame, but should the news not ruin it, basically 50 bucks. It deserves it. It deserves to be way higher than that, actually. So 50 bucks on Newmont, that's what I'm looking for, as long as everything goes all well. Barrick Gold really needs to catch up, should catch up. I can see it starting to climb to 1920. If everything goes well, this will start to outperform. It really should. It really should, especially in the run up to the next earnings. But yeah, next stop really, if you want to be a bit more detailed about it, $18. Let's close above 18.10. Next stop 19, and then take out 19. It's going to be a big explosive move because that's the descending straight to 20 like a magnet. Agnico, look at that. Just thundered higher, closed at a higher day, took out its last high. This thing just it just always impresses me. I thought it's just done too much and it's gonna underperform the others. Not the case. Look at that, even outperformed Newmont, up almost 4.5%. Next stop 76. I mean, it's got to take out this 74, sort of 40, but really 76. And after that, it's back to the COVID highs and where's 2011 highs? Same thing. Wow, we're talking 88. That's the next big one. Basically all-time highs. Pan America, delicious. Normally follows silver. It's outperforming silver. It's opening at new highs, thereabouts. Next up, I didn't even look. Well, I've got them all from ages ago, but 24 apparently. That should be easy. Pan America is just such a wonderful story. 6% easy if we have good news, especially given the close yesterday. It's just amazing. Higher highs, higher lows. Look at these candles. Amazing. SSRM. All right, this is the one exception, but at least yesterday it decided to follow the pack, up almost 6%, close a high of day. Look, it still remains an exception. It's doing its own thing. It just needs to take out this descending because doing its own thing or not, you have to respect this descending breakout. I think it will lead to something. I don't think it'll just be some run-of-the-mill extra day. I think if you close above this, I don't know where it's going to be given the time element, maybe 520. You know, if it closed above 520 next day, bam. And some people say, oh, it's just a delayed catch up with the others. I think it'll be a technical uh respect that it gives to its own chart and its own breakout. Next one, Wheaton, amazing, amazing. Just what I expect from Wheaton, constant strength, close at high of day, close above the resistance from before, new all-time absolute record highs, gapping up a tiny bit. Next up, I don't know, I'm going to say the ascending resistance, which is very, very rare. And given the time element, probably soon, probably around 62 something. Franco-Nevada. This one, nice, close a high of day, gapping up a tiny bit, but like Wheaton, it needs to get back to its old high. It's underperforming the others, but at least it had a good day yesterday. We're looking for 130. Metalla, underperforming everything on the planet. This thing needs to get up there. Nothing else to say. I'm going to give it some time because I'm not selling this. I'm not selling anything, to be honest. But this is just almost a disgrace. And I think it will catch up. Time has a way of healing all issues. First, Majestic. Now we're on to the silver ones. Underperforming also. I mean, remember where SilJ is, right? First Majestic should be all the way up here. So maybe it needs some time to mend itself. It did have dilution here, so I understand lower highs, lower lows, but you got to respect the sector and the underlying metal. This should really be at $7 today. And even there, it still needs to catch up, and I expect more resistance around this descending. So maybe trim that one. I don't know, maybe it will catch up medium term. But I won't be trimming unless I see serious issues. But I've got no plans for that right now. Next one, Fortuna. Come on, let's go quickly. Nice. This one was also weak after a bad news drop. Held support quite well. Here, I didn't like it. I even trimmed on this day. Very small stuff, but good. But look, gap filled, bam. Yesterday made up for all this crap. Need to go above 540 and then into the gap zone where, to be honest, might get a bit more resistance. But hey, if silver's making new highs, I don't care what led to this drop. You're going higher. Some things just need to be dragged up as a sympathy play, the tide that lifts all boats. CDE, yes, new highs, good. Underperformed yesterday for the first time in a while, for me, noticeably. It was up like 2% or something, almost 3%. It should have been up 6, 7, the usual delightful day. Now, I don't think anything is going to stop this from making its run to 750, especially if SilJ and Silver keep doing their thing. But yesterday was just something I noticed. I think it's the first time where and also the day before was a bit of a red day. But yeah, I'm just wondering whether it's starting to exhaust itself after all this effort. Finally, it gets the green light and it's just tired, something like that. I'm trying to find an analogy, but you know what I mean. It's just a bit weak, but at least it was a green day. Next one, Heckler. That was a nice day. Near resistance. I got resistance around 560. I guess it's around, well, no, it closed above 550. So yeah, 560 basically should go all the way up to its old highs. To be honest, if silver makes new highs or Sil J's already sorry, Sil J's already making new highs. So, but it was a good day. So let's go back to 620. EXK just just completely inexplicable stuff. Now, I don't know if there was any news. I don't even think there was any news, but that is standing out massively, up 16.5%, close at high of day. Technically, yeah, okay, it made new highs, but so did a few. I don't really understand. Maybe there was some insider something buying. Maybe there's good news. I don't know what to say about that. That's just, I welcome it. It's amazing, but I don't really understand why it was so magnified. Next stop, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a bit red today, even if it's a green day, even on news, you know, or at least a retrace to 450 or, but overall, next stop for me is these old highs up here, 570, with maybe a small stop off psychologically at 5. But amazing move. And now it's my number one after CD. No, before CDE. I think I'm not comparing them, but CDE's always been my number one. But you know, from 140 all the way to 460 and looking like it wants to go to 6, that's like a crypto stock kind of move. So amazing, but also a bit strange, but I welcome it. Mag Silver, this one was nice, you know. This one, I don't really pay too much attention to it compared to the other ones, but 7%, very good. I think it's been outperforming a little bit here. It had good news around here too. Pre-market, apparently it's up quite a lot. Next stop, I guess 1430. The small pit stop maybe at 1380, but very nice. And then new highs will come. I mean, new highs compared to the bull market so far. And it's got a long way to go. And it's a big silver stock. It's not some little Chinese or explorer in the mountains of Quebec or something. It's, you know, it's an established company, so it's starting to move quite well. So I like that very much. Next one is normally Aris Mining, which I think settled around its resistance. 459, I've got resistance. So that's nice. Perfect candle. Opens at low of day, closes at high of day. About 10 more cents, and then we're at the old highs and then new highs. 480, and then it can get really ridiculous. And although this looks like a big zone, zoom out a bit more. Now, obviously, this little caveat here, this is all diluted. It was going bankrupt, so it's never going to go back all the way there with all the shares outstanding. But technically, moves can accelerate because of this. And, you know, let's take out 460, 480, and then honestly, it's kind of blue skies. I am gold, very nice. Look at that. It closed back down to its like a gap, the opening of the window, whatever you want to call it. So that's, you know, gave back quite a lot. A lot of the other ones closed at high of day, almost all of them. This one, you can see bit of resistance. And I trimmed actually lower than where it closed, so I should have just held it. But I trimmed 419, the usual. I like my just under 20-cent sell. Plus, I know that this was bad news, so it's probably going to get resistance. Same thing I've got for Fortuna. I'm thinking about trimming just before the gap. And there's another one. But, you know, there's like 2 or 3 stocks that I hold where they've had bad news and they've gapped out. First Majestic, that's the other one. And I'm thinking about before the gap and just before the gap closes, if it even climbs up there, just little trims and then trim at the old high. And then if it makes new highs, I trim on the way up there because that's what I do. I trim and at least trim what I've made on that day. So I feel like I'm a bit invincible, you know. But nice day, but closed nowhere near the highs. So let's see if it can go all the way up there where I'll trim the next bit. Next one, B2 Gold. This one also gave back a lot, which surprises me. But look, this is about to tear out of this descending. It's very, very relevant. I think this is significant stuff here. What happens even today and tomorrow. Let's see if we can get to $3. And then we're really squeezing out of of a compressed descending, and this is a big stock. Like for me, this stock can squeeze. It's got all the right reasons. There's a lot of negativity priced in. It's a good stock, good dividend. The Mali stuff I think has been oversold or overrepresented in the selling of the stock. So I don't think it's a coincidence that it gave back a lot and ended up closing pretty much. Okay, I don't know if it's millimeter perfect, but pretty much within the descending. So maybe it needs that extra 1 or 2 day confirmation. Plus, we got the news today. So I think B2 Gold will surprise us. Surprise us. It'll be a bit like Nova Gold, very similar chart. I don't own this one, but that one also will squeeze. Who knows? I may have to take a position. Um, okay, Equinox. I'm just going to cover my stocks. I'm not going to go through all of them. I want this to be a quick update because in a couple of minutes everything just goes crazy anyway. Equinox, look at this. Another. I really do think technically they're closing at level that not because I've identified them, but maybe I've got the right technicals here. Look, 590. Already the last couple of days, it's been closing at 580 or testing 580. Bam, we had that good day yesterday. Everything went up crazy. Equinox went up also, touched 6, makes sense. Psychological round numbers, but closed at 590, makes sense, 591, because that's its resistance. It's just like not confirming that it's going to squeeze. I think we need today and tomorrow by the close. Where are we? Are the gold, silver, and the minor ETFs up? If they are, then this thing will obviously close above 590, hopefully 6. And if it does, 650. And I don't want to say I think it will, but if there was no news, it would go to 650 because I can see it and feel it in this chart. And that's why I own it. That's why I bought it in the low fives, actually. Very happy. And again, technically, I think correctly identified. Lastly, Sibanya, whatever, just shifting this to the right because I'm not doing anything for this whole box because you zoom out, it's actually a small zone and it's high risk. I think it will eventually go up quite a lot, actually. That'll do. I'm not covering all the rest. Let's see what happens. Lots of news, but we look absolutely beautifully set for new highs, lots of money, etc. So good luck to absolutely everyone.